Live. Hello.
Morning.
Andy. Wakey.
How are you? Mate, look.
I'm full of life this morning. Just done my 13,000 steps up to now. Had put a wash on, wash is out. So ready for go. Listen to two exceptional podcasts whilst I was walking, and another chapter of Limitless by Jim Quick. So I'm all ready to go. Had a really productive Sunday. What about you? How's your Sunday morning?
Yeah, mate, it's been brilliant. I've done my 13 steps from bed to the office.
Morning, Jeremy.
We had another barbecue last night, so yeah, it's been. Should we just say a slow start to this morning?
Okay. But you inspire everyone with all your steps and everything you're doing.
Excellent. That's what it's designed for.
Fantastic.
Day 28 yesterday, 4 solid weeks. So yeah, really pleased with that.
Fantastic. Morning, Luke. Nice hat.
Good morning. Yeah, I got this hat on one of our road trips that we had to go and see the 49ers. One of those short respites that we had when we were on a business trip.
Yeah, we did. That was a great trip, wasn't it? Maybe we're talking from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Morning, Oliver James. Hope you're well. If you go to Agents Here to Help, Ollie, I mentioned you about the amazing community stuff that you're doing and how you're helping your local businesses. And there was loads of love for you in that group. So well done for what you're doing. So, Lukey, Andy, how's your week been? I know when we last spoke, see, we're back in the habit. We're only 2 days late. We did promise Friday. So
We did. Done beats perfect.
But anything that has a day in it is exactly the same.
True. Also, just on that community, I know Ollie James is doing tremendous work, and I know that Sean over at Cooper Adams is been getting his team out and about in the community, so and doing things like the litter picking and things. So again, I think it's a great time for any agent to make sure that they're actively involved in the community, but do it with the right intent. But I think hands down to Sean for getting his team involved on it as well.
Yeah, and actually that's a really good point, because loads of people did a lot of great community work in lockdown, and it's very easy just to say, oh, you know what, we're back at work now, we stop it. And actually, you're right, I've seen all the posts, picking up litter. That's fantastic, looking good. Andy, morning, Andy Davis. There you go, nice comment, Andy. Looking healthy, Andy Overman. Must be all that water that you're drinking.
Plenty of water, at least 3 litres a day, Andy. At least 3 litres a day.
Fantastic. And Peter Batts, who works with Sean, one of Sean's colleagues. Morning, and great job that you're doing with the community stuff. So I think they're also picking up food for their food bank as well.
Yeah, food bank, litter picking. I think it's great, and I think the one thing that you absolutely got right there, Stephen, is that a lot of agents made themselves community agents during COVID, and actually the agents that did that and now revert to type and do no community work, they're going to be ratted out. It's because people will see it for what it was. It was just a gimmick.
Destroyed. They'll get destroyed by their customers, by their public, because the intentions weren't there. So the intentions were false, and if they've got it, and they've got to continue it.
We've got a guest, Jerry Lyons with the hair, Stephen Brown.
Jerry
Lyons. Jerry Lyons without the hair. Yes, Jerry's watching. Morning, Jerry.
Is he going to send us a picture in so we can have a look in the comments, so we can share it properly with everybody?
Yeah, come on, Jerry. Post a picture of those new locks in the comments. We are waiting to see it.
So you talk about community, obviously that's important. Question I've got for all of you, actually, because I've been speaking to a lot of agents this week, and it comes down to what agents are turning up with or not, as the case may be. And I think there's quite a bit of frustration with the agents that are abiding with all the guidelines, and then some that just do not give a toss about what they're doing. So thoughts on that?
Irresponsible.
in a word.
Again, I just think people will get ratted out.
Yeah,
for it.
I think they'll get crucified by their customers and by members of the public. I think it's irresponsible. What example is it setting to other businesses and to your colleagues? And then you have to ask the question: if they're like that with your potential customers, what are they like with their colleagues? How are they actually looking after their offices? Are they regularly wiping down? Are they got the relevant hand sanitizers? Have they got disposable towels for your hands rather than a communal hand towel for when you go to the toilet, and those kind of things? And I just think I do, like Andy said, they are going to get ratted out, and I just think everyone's got a part to play at the minute, and they've got to take it seriously. And I think people are getting a little bit too relaxed with it at the minute. And they need to get back on and be really super cautious, because that's the only way this thing's going to end properly.
And how have you found it in lockdown again in Leicester?
So Leicester, I think, if I'm honest, there's still quite a bit of complacency when it comes to not a lot's changed apart from the main shops have shut. But the crazy thing is, you can drive 5 miles down the road and you can go to the shopping centre. And there doesn't appear to be massive restrictions on that. I mean, we live outside of the lockdown area. The offices are in the lockdown area. But we're coming up to holiday season. I've heard a few situations where people have had their holidays cancelled once they've checked the postcode where the people live. But other people have quite merrily gone on their way to go on holiday and things. They're doing a lot of mass testing now. And they were just around Clownham Park yesterday, which is where one of our main offices are. Handing out home test kits to then send in. So I think the government are doing what they can in order to try and relieve the lockdown based upon science, and it needs people's cooperation for that. But is it going to end on the 18th for us? I don't think so. I can see it probably being extended.
I mean, when you think about the practicalities of locking down an individual area, it's almost impractical, isn't it?
Well, unless it's going to be like The Simpsons, and they actually put like that dome over Leicester to stop people from coming and going. It is impractical because.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. You live outside.
Yeah.
Yet you're travelling from outside to inside every day to go about your job, your work.
Yeah.
And you're not breaking the rules. You're being, You're one of the families that are being socially distant. I saw you obviously took little one to the park yesterday, but it's it's later in the afternoon and evening when there's less people about. But you're being responsible with it. But to do your job, you are leaving a non-lockdown area to go into a lockdown area, and then you're traveling back in the evenings. It's
it's crazy. I mean, there was a story. I'm really picturing Leicester to be really appetising at the minute. In Earl Shilton, there was a stabbing. And there were three people, and this was all related to the pubs. So I'm sure people have had too many cherry aids, and it's just got out of control. But there's similar stories throughout the country, isn't there?
Yeah, that's crazy. But there are some really good examples as well of businesses that have adapted. So on Friday, I had a rare day with Yovita where the sun was out. And Stephen, I know you've been up to Norfolk to holiday, and then you've seen us a few times up here when you've been, and you'll know that my happy place is the Norfolk Broads.
Lovely.
Whether it be on a motorboat, whether it be on a bank fishing, but we took we got up on Friday morning, and obviously I'm still furloughed, so money is an issue to a degree, but so is that quality of family life. And so we try, and once a week, we try and do something as a family on the day that we're all together and Yovita's not working. So we headed up to the Norfolk Broads and hired a picnic cruiser, and that was absolutely brilliant. So I phoned the company, and it's Barnes Brincraft in Wroxham, and they were like, yes, sir, we don't do any. There's no physical contact now at the offices, so it has to be paid up front on the phone. We've got a COVID policy. This is what you'll do. And so they literally set out the story on the phone. So the whole journey was signposted for us. This is the boat. This is the web link to it. Do you like the look of it? Yes. Is it what you were expecting? Yes. Okay, that's great. Would you like to go on and book? Yes, that's great. It all has to be done over the phone. We got there. They'd already asked the names and the ages of the party. So the life jackets were all wiped down and sanitized and ready. The boats, they had 2 different sections in the boatyards, returned boats, which obviously they were working on sanitization and getting out for the fleet again. And then completely at the opposite end of the boatyard, they had the sanitized and ready to go boats. They had the social distancing markings everywhere. And just the whole organization was phenomenal. It was absolutely brilliant. And you felt safe and secure. But like, I mean, you can walk into some places and there is no social distancing signage. It amazes me. I've seen pictures inside some of estate agents' offices recently, and there is absolutely no social distance signage whatsoever. I just don't think there is a policy. There's definitely not a one size fits all policy, but there are some companies out there at the moment that are absolutely excelling, and there are some companies that you know are letting the side down. But I do think they'll get ratted out. You know, people will, in time, I think people will learn to respect what lengths some people and businesses have gone to. And I think we'll see what lengths some businesses controversially haven't as well.
So thank you. So stamp duty.
Yeah, good announcement.
Yay! Oh, Rishi, he's done so well for us all.
So what did you do? What's the message that agents should be putting out there now? I mean, for me, great opportunity to be prospecting, getting on the phone, saying, "Hi, Andrew, how are you?"
Really well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, excellent, thank you. You heard of exciting news this week?
No.
You haven't heard about stamp duty and what that means?
No, tell me.
Okay, well, it could give you the opportunity. You were talking about you wanted to move next year. This may give you the opportunity to make you bring those plans forward, because potentially you could save X amount of money. What do you think your next steps will be now?
Yeah, mate, it's a great question. I think you know, for me, another angle to the whole stamp duty. What about your old offers? You know, pre-COVID offers, definitely offers over the last 6 months where you might have been 10, 15 grand apart on a 325k purchase. You know, it's 15. Is it 325? You say 15 grand in stamp, you know, something like that, isn't it? So, mate, those offers, you know, because if people are buying on again, they're going to work, you know, no stamp on their onward purchase. It just, you know, it oils the cogs again, doesn't it? I think it's. Look, there's one thing I'll say, and you know, we try not to be political on your page and on the podcast, but Rishi Sunak has done absolutely phenomenally, in my view, for the economy and for, you know, keeping businesses afloat, keeping people paid during these difficult times. And I think the stamp duty, you know, I think everybody feared, and there was lots of rumours, it would be capped at 500,000. It wouldn't start straight away. It'd come out in the autumn budget. That would stall the housing market. But actually, clear, decisive, boom, it's there, and we've got it till the 31st. And it includes investors. You know, they're still, yes, they're paying the 3% additional stamp, but that's based on the new models. So, like in this area, you know, you'd be hard pushed to find an investor buying at 500k to rent out. So, you know, in our area, it's brilliant news. And investors are saving another £1,000-2,000 a purchase. And I think, you know, again, I think it's just great news. You know, I'm gutted. Obviously, I'm still furloughed, so I'm not being able to make these phone calls. I'm jealous of you guys being able to sit there and make deals happen at the moment, because the first thing I'd be going back through is my old offers from, you know, every offer for the last 6 to 9 months, 100%.
So the question, I suppose, is when an agent's taken an offer at the minute, are they, before they get really excited to put that offer forward to the vendor, are they working out what that stamp duty saving is for the buyer? Because there are a lot of buyers out there that, or potential buyers out there, and even vendors that still probably don't know. And you could say, where have you been living, in a cave? Not everyone at the minute has got the news on 24/7, because they've been so sick to death of hearing about coronavirus deaths and things. So there are a lot of people out there, and don't forget, yes, it's plastered all over the internet, but there's the older generation as well. They may not understand that, but know what that stamp duty saving is, because if you've got that leverage to try and eke out the extra few £1,000s to negotiate a stronger offer for your vendor, because they're your clients at the end of the day. Yes, the buyer's the customer, but the client is your vendor. And it's and I posted a message to you private in our group, didn't I, where I said, make sure you've got that calculation. So what is that potential stamp duty at that certain level, whether or not your buyer is living in it or investment, because then you can use that later on in the negotiations.
100%, definitely. And also
maybe even speak to your CRM providers to see if they can put that calculation on your offer page. Gold, absolute gold out there for any CRM provider. If they've not actioned something like that within days, I'm sure it's a simple calculation based upon the offer amount. Is it standard or investor stamp duty? And then they can do it for you. If not, then just have the stamp duty calculator website open every time you take an offer. Definitely. And I think also agents, I mean, if we're lucky, a lot of top agents follow this, the podcast and Stephen's group, and we surround ourselves with brilliant agents, particularly in your mastermind group. So we kind of get used to, how it should be done. And if you look at Jerry Lyons, if you look at Chris Watkin, literally the next day, the print articles were there. Jerry Lyons had his article ready that then Oliver puts into video format. Any agents at the moment that are not conveying news in a sensitive and timely fashion are going to be left behind, because you're 100%. People are on Facebook and Insta now, Luke, more than they are the news. If you look at that whole journey back in March, everybody religiously switched on that telly at 5 o'clock. What's the death toll? What's the R rate? Everybody wanted to know, because it was so, raw, and in the moment, it became part of people's daily lives. I must watch PM's briefing at 5 o'clock. Yeah.
It got then to about 2 months in, and actually people were just sick of hearing how many people had died, and that it was the worst rate in Europe, and because every time you turn the news on, you heard about more death and more families losing loved ones. They'd pretty much by that stage pulled out all of the emergency measures that were helping people, and it just became shit news. I don't watch the news anymore. I deliberately, consciously don't watch the news, but I do keep up to date with things on Facebook and Insta. And I think that's where our audience is.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just to go on what Jerry Lyons and Chris Watkin kind of produce, and I know that there's other content writers out there if you struggle, because not everyone. I know I struggle with writing blogs and articles and things. It's like, okay, well, let's sit down and write it. Whereas someone like Jerry Lyons, or I know there's Andrea, Chris Watkin, but the content's varied. It's not just for one audience, so it could be landlords. So I know Jerry writes one article based upon landlords, and maybe the 6 things that are affecting landlords at the moment. But then he has like Feel Good Friday. So it's all about putting some. And I know one of them was about putting joy back into your life and things. So it hasn't always got to be about property. It could even be about, well, what special offers have all the businesses got around you this week? Which shops are actually open, and don't forget you've got the Eat Out to Help Out coming up soon. So what businesses can you get involved with to help promote them, to give them a sample of the menu, to give maybe a menu sample or something like that, just to help those guys out, because those guys need you more than ever as well. And it's your local audience to help those other businesses out, because there is a lot of patriotism at the minute with helping out those smaller local businesses, and And I think everyone just if you can help those other businesses, then it will come back. Robert Cialdini talks about it. So correct. So, but don't do it with the expectation of getting something back. Just keep give, and like Gary Vaynerchuk says, jab, hook.
Do you know what?
I think today and moving forward, this is the time when all agents should be looking, Stephen, like Peter Lawrence's loyalty card scheme. Because if you can, as Luke says, every small local business, most of the people that watch this, that we engage with are independent estate agents, and they have that flexibility. He's got a loyalty card scheme, Pete Lawrence at Lawrence Rand, and it's a collection of small local businesses that offer discounts as a result of having that loyalty card. Now, I think anything that you can do that creates brand awareness amongst your peer group and in these small businesses within those communities is a fantastic thing, particularly at the moment. And it's something that you can do that's going to be seen and respected and trusted in a way that isn't estate agents just trying to look good. So Luke, you do great videos. Peter does great videos. What about and Oliver's doing them at the moment? The focus on the local businesses. Let's get out there. If you're a business owner, if somebody in your social media account, Sean's got very active with his team at Cooper Adams. If somebody is eating out and they've got great social distancing measure, then pop it on your page, pop it on your business page, because you're just reassuring other people that actually there is a new sense of normal coming out, and businesses are being responsible. And actually, if there are businesses in your area that aren't being responsible with COVID-19 and policies, then by virtue of the fact that you're not mentioning it on the page, they will also be seen and they will be ratted out for it. So, I just think that there's a great opportunity for independent agents to come together at the moment and be integral to the community. Instead of being ostracized and alienated from it.
Well, I love that sample menus. What a great opportunity to go through every local restaurant in your area and say, we really want to help you. I appreciate you. We've got this offer coming up. Would you have a sample menu that I can put on the Facebook page, share, and to our audience to help you? Love it. What great way of holding your community. And what about also, people are really interested in the history of their local area, so why not start engaging the historical society in your area, finding out about the local history, including your community and asking them about the local history of the area, and then actually putting it all together, collating it into a little book. And for when your buyer moves in, you've got a little book to give them about the area of Thetford, the area of Leicester as well.
Love that.
Which has come from everybody in the area.
Love that. What about so what are people doing? I mean, completion gifts, because this is something that I was part of a Facebook discussion the other day. And with COVID-19, obviously, we are sort of removing from the shackles of it in certain areas, and obviously other areas it's still prominently. What do we do for completion gifts now? Because I think that needs to shift.
It is. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you've got such a. I mean, we've still done the key picture, but at a distance, and where they're just holding it. Normally we'd kind of feature in it, but yeah, I mean, I think completion gifts, I think it's down to the personal preference of the person receiving it, and I don't think there's any harm in saying, look, we've just got something a little bit special, but we understand if it's not now's not the right time to let you have that. Would that be okay? And if there's, no, I'm fine about that. So I think it's down to the individual preference of the person that's going to be receiving it.
Could we shift our mindset? Instead of spending 50 quid or 25 quid on a completion gift, could we not give them a voucher for a local business?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could that be a way that we can contribute towards kickstarting our own local economies again? So, we buy bottles of champagne and bunches of flowers. It's got to be 25 to 50 quid for a completion gift these days, hasn't it?
Yeah, quite easily, isn't it?
So imagine if that 25 to 50 quid was a voucher that was spent in a local establishment, supporting the local economy and supporting local employees, getting businesses back on their feet, having 16, 17, 18-year-old lads and lasses waitressing at tables again and waitering at tables again. Anything that we can do, like that small, the 1%ers, as we call it. I think an agent now that whacks a bottle of champagne, even asking the question beforehand, I just think it's I don't think it's the right message. I think if you can spend that 50 quid back in your local economy and encourage somebody who may not have gone to that restaurant or may not have gone to that TK, we've got the Lion Kitchen here at Thetford Garden Centre. Went in there for the first time since lockdown, and it was wonderfully presented. They were, the waiting staff, the new policies, again, a really brilliant COVID secure business in the new world. And I posted it straight onto my page to try and encourage other people. So for me, if I was a local business owner in the area at the moment, I'd be giving them a 50 quid voucher to go and take their family for Sunday lunch at the Lion Kitchen, just to try and encourage them, custom and people out again.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Fantastic. That's why you're a community agent. So for me, I've got a great idea that I am happy to share with anybody on my walk. Okay, so how to make a client lasting impression or a first impression for your new buyer to welcome into their home. So if anybody wants to know, from 7:30 tomorrow morning, I'm going to be walking for at least a couple of hours. You're welcome to call me on my mobile and I will share with you that idea.
And for those watching that think Stephen is sitting with his computer screen and showing too much ceiling, that's actually his height has dropped because he's walking at least 25,000 steps a day. So,
I have done 13,000 steps so far this morning.
Yeah, I've done 13, as I told you.
So you'll catch me up soon.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to let you both go because I know it's Sunday. I'm really grateful both for your time. So thanks very much. Just one quick thing, Luke. Work-wise, what do you want to achieve this week coming?
I'm going away.
Oh, exciting! Good. Enjoy. You deserve it.
Yeah, so it's getting the things out the way, as I'm sure everyone will understand. It's getting the things out the way to try and have a restful 5 days away. So we're going to Brighton on Thursday. So we've treated ourselves to go and stay at the Grand at Brighton.
Brilliant. Well, have an amazing time. Andy, what inspiring stuff you're going to do and share on your Facebook page this week?
So I want to try and get involved with more community stuff, popping up to Euston later today to help the lads out there sort the pitches out. Definitely want to try and get involved in more community stuff, particularly with businesses and restaurants opening. Obviously, they're going to struggle. I just want to continue those exercise three rings a day to get my, I'd like to make it to 5 weeks. So, yeah, it's just filling out here a little bit, feeling good, feeling chipper. What about you? What are you up to?
Doing some prospecting this week, so I'm looking forward to that. So I had some people that want to make use of a stamp duty and understand what they should be saying. So I've got that. So tap's starting to dripping at the moment, so starting to get some work in, which is nice. I'm going to carry on doing my steps, so still very focused on doing at least 10,000 steps before 10 o'clock. And I'm being so much more productive. My last 7 days, so much more productive just by taking these small steps and doing small steps every day on several things, which has been great. But I think this morning, some of the things you've both shared, absolute gold, really has been. Just a couple of things, sample menus, going through the old offers, all the community work that's being done. The videos, absolutely fantastic. And again, for everybody watching, firstly, thank you all for joining us on this Sunday. And if you're watching it on replay, thanks for watching on replay as well. But there is some you know, if you can just take one of these things, whether it's the sample menus or actually, you know, if you want to win in your business, go through all your old offers, or again, as Luke said, you know, work out what the stamp duty amount is. All these little things make a difference. Decide which one you're going to use, you know, and if it's go through your old offers, just start with one old offer. Okay, make that start, create that opportunity, take that small step. You may be surprised at the reaction that you get, and then take the next small step and the next small step. But, you know, that could be a very quick win for you to agree some more sales and get your pipeline up. So,
and it might not, you know, it may not come to a win straight away, Stephen. You know, it may be that offer is going nowhere, but reigniting that conversation might reignite that passion for that seller to come back to the market, or that buyer to be motivated to buy. And it's just, you know, the one common thing I'm hearing this week, I mean, Richard mentioned it in the group. I think James Llewellyn's now taking a week out, because, you know, Luke's now having a week off. From what I'm hearing up and down the country, I mean, I've seen Lawson's and William H. Brown local to me just racking up instructions like you wouldn't believe. Obviously, I don't have the sales data at the moment, but everywhere that I'm looking, I'm just seeing really frantically busy estate agents at the moment, and the market has, you know, is there for the taking. So those conversations, those little discussions, they lead to something else. They lead to something else. But if you're not having them and you're being reactive, not proactive, then, you know, you don't really have a viable business model at the moment, do you?
Yeah. No.
You've got to be prospecting now, you know, even again, if it's a small step, you know, make 5 calls, you know, that's a start. You know, ideally it'd be great if it more, you know, if you're really, really struggling, just do 1 call. Okay, that's one more call than you were doing. You know, take that small step, pick up the phone, make the call, and you'll be really surprised that happens. So,
and what is it Tom Ferry says, isn't it? The first call's the hardest. The first call's the shitty call. Nobody wants to make that first call, but you make the first call and then you push yourself onto the second call. Then the third and fourth and fifth become second nature. But Sam Hunter, he spoke about when he broke into real estate in Australia, he had a target, didn't he? 20 phone calls a day. If you can just have 20 connections, 20 meaningful conversations per day, that's 100 people on a 5-day week. You know, 100 people on a 5-day week, that's 5,000 people over a year's period. You're going to have a good business model speaking to 20 people a day.
Yeah.
And again,
but even turn it into but even turn it into, I mean, a lot of people talk about, I don't know, let's say your daily habit is to have a nice coffee a day, and you get it from a takeout place. Well, don't allow yourself to have that nice coffee until you've done at least those 5 or 10 calls.
Yeah, make it a
treat.
And
then make it that treat. So it kind of spurs you on to actually to actually do it. So and it worked, and those kind of things do work. I think Tom, something popped up on my time hop yesterday from Tom Panos, and he talks about play games with the environment. If you don't want to slip up, don't hang around in slippery spots. So so just change things. But don't forget, 3 months ago, rewind it, we were crying out for times like this to be manically busy. So let's not complain about it too much. It's a good thing.
Careful what you wish for. You know, there's 3 months, there's 3-4 months worth of business that's out there for the taking at the moment. And
well, we all cried out for quiet times to get stuff done that we've been putting off and off and off, which we did. And then we're thinking, well, now we want busy times. Now we've got busy times. Now we want quiet time. I know you can't please us all, can you?
Bloody estate agents, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, thank you everybody for watching. Please like it, share, comment. The offer stands, so 7:30 tomorrow morning. If you want an idea, a couple of ideas, please, you're very welcome to call me and I'll happily share them with you with pleasure. On Tuesday, Katie Griffin, ex-past president of NAEA, will be joining me at 12:30 for lunchtime learnings. And on Thursday at 12:30, I'm going to be joined by Adele Crocker of the Castle Dean Group as well. So looking forward to that. Have a lovely Sunday. Enjoy yourselves, gentlemen. Thanks very much, Andy, for getting up. Really appreciate it. With 5 minutes. You do really, really well. Luke, have a great time in Brighton. And have a great Sunday. Enjoy, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.
All the best.